with Joe and Muff. It is towards the end of the football season, ladies and gentlemen.
Womp, womp, womp.
All of the emotion, all the sentiment, and all of the potential sadness that comes with only 3 more football games left.
That's crazy to think about. I feel like it flew by.
Always does.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. Today is Wednesday, January 21st. We have crowned a college football playoff national champion.
That we have.
Mendoza was in full effect. Indiana caps off a 2-year storybook run, winning the big game, claiming the highest honors, and setting a precedent for years to come under old Mr. Curt Cignetti. I think we can now Google him.
Yeah. He deserves to be Googled now.
Most definitely does. We're going to have the betting stuff episode tacked on the back end of this one. So if that's of any interest to you, just fast forward about 30 to 40 minutes and catch the last 5 to 10 minutes of this episode. That's how you can get your betting fix today. And for this week, leading into Conference Championship weekend in the NFL. As always, thanks to everybody that's interacting on the social. Sports Stuff with Jim Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell.
Ding, ding.
A ding-a-da-ding-a-da. Still growing towards 100 subscribers on the YouTubes.
We're almost there.
Inch by inch.
Prizes, you better step it up. Nicole, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, is she implementing any of the strategies that were discussed in previous episodes?
She did note that she heard us talk about the strategy. The other day, she listened to the first 11 minutes of the podcast. I will give her credit. 11 minutes was way farther than she's ever made it. So shout out to Nicole for all 11 minutes of her support.
Indeed. Sam, have you ever listened to 11 minutes of the podcast?
She just went to the sweatshop.
Oh.
In her defense, usually she listens to the podcast in the background, just happening in her house.
That is true. Jordan's listened to 11 plus minutes. I have to imagine.
Yes. Yeah.
For sure. If I ever talked to Nicole for 11 minutes about sports, she would just start suffocating me. I feel like, you know what I mean? So the fact that she listened to us.
I'll try to.
So the first
here.
Sorry.
Sam, I want to know if you've ever listened to, outside of us recording live, 11 plus minutes of a podcast episode.
Yes, I did used to listen to the whole episode.
It used to?
Well, when I would walk outside, I would listen to the whole episode.
She got sick of us.
Well, then I started watching you guys record it, so I felt like it was a thing.
The suspense kind of wore off.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Did your walk align with when Nate fades away? Did your walk end when Nate was done?
No, because this was a while ago.
Oh, okay. So before Nate only hung out with us for an hour.
Tops.
I feel like this is how Muff has limits on how many days he'll hang out. Nate actually wants to see us for an hour, so he just slowly is oh no, I'm breaking up.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. All right, we've got no lead off this week, but we are going to get straight into the College Football Playoff National Championship game as Hoosiers. Indiana takes it down, beating the Hurricanes of Miami, Florida, 27-21. And Indiana blocked punt return for a touchdown is the difference on the scoreboard. A hard-hitting matchup throughout. Pitted elite line play, running attacks, and quarterback hits that had some people questioning the Big 12 crew's let them play mentality.
I almost texted you during the game. I was this is almost exactly the type of game that you wanted. Like you said, you wanted that grind it out, good line play type game, and that's what you're getting.
Indeed. I only want to watch the fourth quarter of the game, but it happened all the same in the fourth quarter. Nate, before we get any farther, the officiating this game, it was definitely coming into the game. There was discussion about this Big 12 crew was the crew that was going to let them play. And that's what played out. Were there any non-calls or calls in this game that you thought could have gone a different way?
I think the one that sticks out like a sore thumb is the one where Mendoza hands the ball off and kind of half-ass carried out a fake and gets popped in the chin, and there was no call there. I think that's the one that you got to kind of get. Not that he's really, I wouldn't say defenseless, but by rule he probably is. But I mean, it was a cheap shot.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I didn't see. So, Alex, you saw this hit, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I agree with Nate. It was one of the more obvious ones to someone who's not super keen on officiating or like up to date. I think there was another one where the receiver got like grabbed by the back while he was running, but I think that was just like a miss. I think they just didn't catch it. So,
yeah. Jim, did you watch any of this game?
Not a minute.
Not
really?
a minute.
So the college football guy didn't watch a minute of the national championship.
He was doing his homework.
No, sir. I did
Is
not.
that true? Why? What did you other commitments or like you just didn't want to?
It was Zadie's birthday.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
It's a fair commitment.
That is a very
All right, so Miami did make a run late in this game, halted by a Carson Beck interception, a theme to the big losses of his career in college football. Charlie B. from Nashville, Tennessee, continued to make big catches in the big moments in this big-time game. And I think now the world, if they didn't already know, understands that Malachi Toney is going to be a problem moving forward in the college football landscape.
Yeah.
So, Nate, Alex, thoughts on this game? Is Indiana the most deserving national champion? And what do we think about Miami? Start with Nate.
I definitely think Indiana was definitely most deserving. They played their way from the bottom of the barrel. I mean, the thing was the first snap of the year against some FCS or Group of 5 game. They let a quarterback go for an 80-yard run. And you're like, oh, boy, here we go. This is Indiana football. And then week by week, you just see it. They got more physical. They got better. And Cignetti backed up his shit. And then as far as Miami is concerned, I think that put up this whole season kind of put them back on the map from, okay, maybe we're not going to get in the college football playoff. We didn't make the conference championship. But they went on a run. And then even though they didn't win it, I'm going to say Miami's back.
All right, Alex?
Yeah, I have to agree with Nate. I think that definitely going through the playoffs, playing against elite competition, Indiana proved themselves to be the best college football team. They took care of business consistently. They played smart. They played clean, mistake-free football mostly. So I think that they were deserving. I think Miami made a statement that they also belonged there. After watching the way that Indiana beat up on some teams and then having Miami hold a good game with them, I think that they proved that it wasn't just a fluke that they got in. So all around good national championship game. Sometimes they're a blowout and that always sucks. So it's nice to see a cool game like go down to the wire. And congrats to Indiana and Kurt Cignetti. He wins.
Indeed. Congrats to the Hoosiers. Indiana almost put themselves in the position towards the end of the game where a costly false start penalty almost gave Miami an opportunity to get the ball back. That would have been like an ultimate heartbreaking way for Indiana to lose if that had transpired in that way, because it was the best lineman in the country got a penalty at the worst time that could have happened in that game.
And it's like not someone who's usually penalized. Like they're not a team that's heavily penalized. They're usually pretty disciplined.
Yeah. So as far as me for Miami, definitely proved right that they did belong despite all of the controversy coming in about them getting into the playoff. They played their way through and showed that they were a worthy recipient of the college football playoff nod. Jim, any post-game thoughts? Anything you have seen, whether it's clips, highlights, discussions?
No.
Are you just salty about college football and how it ended?
I think if we're talking in general, I like the way the season ended in terms of I forget the word I want to use, a big word. I like that we got different teams.
Parity?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I like the fact that we got different teams in there. Even the fact Ohio State isn't one of those teams I think is good for college football. I think, do I like Indiana? I am not a fan of Mendoza. I just don't like him. I'm just not a fan. I think he's going to be an NFL bust. That's just my thoughts. Signetti is okay. I get it. I get the appeal. I think he's broken the mold in terms of what you need to have on your team. I think these 5-star out of high school recruits are not necessarily it. And I think teams, like I said in previous episodes, I think that's what teams will adjust to. So I think like college football is adapting and changing all the time. I think Signetti just put a new wrinkle into it. Miami, you say the same thing with Carson Beck. I think the game's evolving. Do I think grown-ass men like Michael Irvin and Ray Lewis out there acting the fool is good for college football? No, I think that's ridiculous. But as far as the playoffs, that's the way it should have played out, in my opinion.
Well, who do you think will have more of a? Who do you think will have a better NFL career, Mendoza or Carson Beck?
I want to say Carson Beck. Like in my heart of hearts.
Yeah. You're allowed.
I feel like Mendoza will have an Ohio State style. Like he'll be like every Ohio State quarterback and kind of just bust. Whereas I think Carson Beck, having been through Saban, having been through the Miami thing, I think he'll be one of those longevity-wise, he'll last longer. He won't be great, but I think he'll last longer.
And that's why they play the game. Well, I mean, that'll be a seasoned take when we get to the point to have any discussion on that later on in the next 3 to 5 years. But I think at this point, it is pretty well established that Fernando Mendoza is going to be the number one quarterback taken from this draft class.
And there's takes that is the number one pick, which I think is outrageous. But whatever.
Who would you pick above him?
Who has the number one pick? Just
the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Do we think the Raiders need a quarterback? And do we think he is Las Vegas?
Yes.
I don't think
Raiders need everything.
That's true.
They need everything.
The only hope that Mendoza has to not have to go play for the Raiders is that they're really bad at picking, so they may pick some random.
Which, let's be honest, that happens with the Raiders.
That's what I mean. Like, that's the only hope that he has to not get stuck playing with them.
I just don't think Mendoza's Raiders material. I think they could get a running back, a receiver, and still be great. And pick up quarterbacks later in the rounds.
Maybe Mendoza will bring like some friendly energy to the Raiders. I feel like they don't have that.
And that's what we need. That's what the Raiders need: friendly energy.
I think it would be funny. Like
They need some different energy, and maybe that's something that will at least make them slightly better. I don't know.
Maybe.
I agree with you that he doesn't like fit the Raiders mold. That's what I'm saying.
All right, let's move on.
If you told me Carson Beck to the Raiders, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Oh, I agree. I could see him. He seems like more of a Raider type player.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
why not?
Him and his girlfriend heading to Vegas. It sounds about right.
Why not wait for it? You know what I mean? Why not take Arvell Reese, the slotted number 2 linebacker from Ohio State, and then drop down and get yourself a quarterback?
I'm not going to say that. It's tough for me, and there are a lot of positions that I would say are a reach to take number 1 overall, linebacker being one of them. Doesn't matter where they're from. If you're going to do something that's not quarterback at this point, you may as well go offensive, defensive line.
Okay,
right? That's how.
Go number 3, the number 3, and get Francis Magaoa from Miami, offensive tackle.
Right. If they did that, I would say okay.
I'm saying like Mendoza doesn't seem to be somebody I would come out and grab number 1.
He's smart.
The next one is the Jets. Let them take the quarterback. They're idiots.
Who also need a quarterback.
Arizona Cardinals. Let them go get somebody.
Right.
If I'm the
There are
Raiders,
enough teams that are in the quarterback radar that he's going to fall somewhere within the top 5. If there's trading, it's just going to be who gets him.
Let them go get him. If I'm the Raiders, I'm not taking him.
All right. So let's wrap up the college football season here. So I'm going to get everybody the platform to answer 2 questions, one at a time here. So let us start with Nate. Nate, how will you remember this college football season on the whole?
I think I'm going to remember it as the season of upsets because it just seemed like every single week somebody was getting got.
Okay, there we go. Alex, college football season sentiments on the whole.
The season of as a whole, the season of Indiana. As a Mountaineer fan, Rich Rod's return.
Okay. Jim, college football season, big picture.
As a college football fan, a memorable. So I'll go Ohio State fan first. Very memorable, very fun for me as an Ohio State fan and dad. Michigan win, took my kids to their first game, got to go to more Ohio State games than I ever have. Got to do it with a lot of friends and family. I enjoyed the Ohio State season. In terms of the playoffs, disappointing, but I think understandable. Like, I'm okay with it. Ohio State fans will probably hate me for it, but like, I'm okay with it. College football, I think, also memorable in terms of Lee Corso and, like I said, the parity in the season and the changes and everything, the upsets. Very memorable season. One I think that, like, as I get older, I'll remember like this season for everything that happened.
All right. For me, the big picture, it was a trying season. It was a challenging season, and I'm not just saying that as a Penn State fan. I'm saying that for college football as a whole. Right? The parity created a lot of, not controversy, but a lot of hubbub around college football programs, the transfer portal, what this looked like moving into the year, how it impacted the season itself, teams themselves, conferences. I mean, we had a 3rd place team in a conference make it to the college football playoff, and it was not the SEC. So I think this turned a lot of the traditional college football banter on its head every week. There was some new wrinkle that had the talking heads kind of holding their breaths about, okay, what's going to happen next, and left them never searching for a story. The stories just fell in their laps all season long.
Yeah.
So
that when you're done,
yeah.
Muff? Sorry.
Go ahead. No, that was it.
I think the fun part as a podcaster and somebody, we've been doing this a while, is if you're a long time listener, if you're the first of our future 100 and you go back to episode 1, this season kind of encapsulates what we said would happen. Like,
Yeah.
we were truth sayers or soothsayers or whatever you want to say. Like, Muffnack could have called this season if you went to episode 1. We said that the portals and the NILs and if they didn't get it under wraps, this season would happen. I think that's cool for me. Is like the podcast said, hey, chaos is coming, and this season proved it. And I think that was cool to watch.
It's like we kind of know what we're talking about.
Yeah, this season proved that.
I mean, we're 5 years late, but
Google
you call your shot early.
Google
Right,
us.
but like we kept saying every year, like, hey, government, hey, NCAA. And now there is no government involved and there is no NCAA involved. And what happened? Coaches fired in the middle of the season, players trying to hold up programs for the bag. And what was the end result? Indiana, Miami are your national champion game. And Indiana, who hasn't ever, right, won a national champion?
Never. Not
Wins-
anymore.
Well, now.
Yeah.
Wins the natty. Like, we told you the establishment would get rocked. This is what happens.
Indeed. All right, and what are we most excited for moving into next college football season, Alex?
To see what Rich Rod does after a full year of recruiting for me.
All right, Nate.
Hopefully being on the field on Saturdays.
There we go. I'm most excited to see what happens in year one of the coaching transition in Happy Valley, what that recruiting class as well as the transfer class brings to the fold. And I, too, have some vested interest in what happens in Morgantown as well. I also want to say, I will remember this past season, I forgot to mention this as a more specific memory of Alex's jubilation when WVU beat Pitt.
Yeah. That I almost added that into my, like, what are you going to remember this season? And it was like just getting to be there for that game. Like Rich Rod coming back, huge win. Yeah, I was going to add that. Unfortunately.
All right, Jim.
Honestly, and I hate to be the Debbie Downer, I wish you just started with me. I'm not excited for next year. I think the off season, not just for Ohio State, but mostly Ohio State, it's kind of turned me bitter on the process. I'm turning more towards Alex because the Ohio State fans in Columbus have, and it's probably just every off season for me, but like nothing's good enough. The portal is crazy. We're doomed. The sky is super falling. The fake news on Jeremiah's leaving, but he isn't leaving. You know, I'm not right now currently excited for next season. Now, you know, spring game comes around, I'll be amped and juiced up. But like currently today, I'm kind of burnt out on college football. Like, give me some time.
You need a team that's not very good, and that's because
I think you're right now.
Honestly, instead of the negative, everything's a big deal. It's like a positive, everything's a big deal. So like we get a recruit, and instead of being like, "Well, we could have gotten this," we'll never say that. We're like, "Heck yeah, woo!"
Yeah, it's crazy to me. Like we lose, and we lost a lot of guys in the portal, but like I think, you're still getting these recruits from OU that were killing. And we talked about on the show, OU is like going to get mugged in the portal because they got so much talent. We get OU guys, we get Oregon guys, and Ohio State fans are like, yeah, like, come on, like, you're still reloading. You know, there's reports in Columbus that Tomlin's going to be the next offensive coordinator, and Ohio State's like, yeah, like, I'm sorry, and you guys know I shit on Pittsburgh. But if Mike Tomlin is even a 2% chance that we land him as an offensive coordinator, like I want to be amped.
He's not an offensive guy, so keep dreaming.
Right, but like even if that's a rumor, you know what I mean? Even like,
Yeah.
Alex, if WU said, "Hey, we might get Mike Tomlin as an offensive coordinator,"
Oh, I'd buy in. I'd be ready for it.
right? Not Columbus.
That's what I'm saying. You got to find a better team.
It kind
Or
of
a
burns
worse
you out.
team, really.
It burns you out.
My dad, I've said this to you before. My dad said that. He's like, he lived in Columbus briefly. He's like, it was the weirdest sports town ever. He says this without ever hearing Jim's take. He's like, literally that year, Cincinnati won the World Series or something like that. And he's like, I go to the newsstand and I get a newspaper reading it. And people were like complaining about the season and complaining about something that happened like 2 days after with the team. And he's like, not a single person was like, yeah, did you see that, man? That's awesome. He's like, if WVU won a national championship, like it would be years of celebration. He's like, it's just the weirdest place. He's like, they're just always mad about their sports team.
Feels like that.
All right, we're going to circle back to some college football talk, speaking directly to this transfer portal and how the game has changed as we have some court rulings that are definitely impacting NIL and the transfer portal. But before then, we're going to get into some NFL divisional round wrap-up talk here before we get into conference championship weekend. First, we had the Broncos taking down the Bills 33-30 in overtime. Another loss from the Bills and Josh Allen, who had 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And we all know what the outcome of this led to for the Bills in their head coaching situation. The Broncos do come away with a win, but at a significant cost. Bo Nix, who had 3 touchdowns and interceptions game, out for the rest of the playoffs with an ankle injury, which he's already completed surgery to remedy.
Yeah, I think they're screwed. Just going to start there.
That was good.
Jarrett Stidham's going to be getting the start for the Broncos. But let's focus for a second on the Bills.
What did you think of that and the end of the game, Nate? Why don't you speak to that?
So you were echoing out there. What'd you say?
No, you're echoing.
We're all echoing.
Muff?
Go on. What?
All right, I don't hear any more echoes. I'll go ahead and try again.
No, there was an echo because my earpods, I had to take one out because it needed charged. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, if there was an echo, it was me 100%.
It was. And then we were asking you to fix it and you were ignoring us. But that makes sense now because you didn't have your earpod in. I just wondered like what your take was on that call at the end of the game, the like catch versus interception.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, those ones.
It was weird.
I mean, those things are so tough full speed. Like, I get it. We can go into replay. We can break it down frame by frame. But it's like you get one shot to call that right. And you can look at it both ways saying, oh, yeah, he hit the ground or whatever. But I even said in the group, like there was 2 instances earlier in the year. The first one in the Steelers game when Peyton Wilson ripped it out of, I don't even remember who, if it was Zay Flowers or whoever it was for the Ravens. Mm-hmm. And they're falling to the ground and he rips it right out of the dude's arms. Or in the Bucs game at the Rams where Cade Otton had it and he's falling down to a knee and a DB takes it right out of his hands and takes it the other way for 6. So, I mean, we kind of have precedent on this. And as he's going to the ground, yeah, you can see in one view, yeah, his knee's down. But, like, did he have firm control of that ball as he's going to the ground? I mean, at that point, they're both fighting for the ball. And then who came up with it?
Yeah, that was that. Didn't survive the ground for the catch. And because it didn't survive, there was the jockeying for it. It came loose in some way. And then we had all of the Twitter trolls and the social media trolls coming out and comparing it to all of these different situations, which were none of them were the same situation that played out in that game, which I thought was very disingenuous of people trying to, call out officials and say, oh, the Bills got screwed. And it was like, no, you're not, you're comparing apples and oranges in this case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I said, I challenge all these keyboard warriors to get out there and officiate an NFL game in full speed and get every call right. Because even doing it at the high school level, the game gets pretty freaking quick sometimes.
Well, you could watch it at half speed and get all the calls right. So,
I mean, no, Alex watches basketball, and sometimes I have to yell at him to give me stats.
Yes, that is true. That does occasionally happen. Happens less now. I'm getting slightly better, but that still happens nonetheless. I think with the Bills, I was shocked about the McDermott firing. I think similar to the Harbaugh firing, a little quick on the trigger for me.
Yeah, that firing definitely came out, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that and what has transpired since in our little NFL coaching carousel chat. But Josh Allen, not saying that they're going to find a way to get rid of Josh Allen in any way, nor should they, but is Josh Allen now have that stigma of the QB that can't win the big game?
No.
I mean, until he wins one, I guess so. I mean,
I think the problem. Go ahead, sorry.
So he's never really a late history of he's never made a Super Bowl. Has he made a conference championship game?
Yeah, I think they've made one. I think somewhere.
And
and
you look in the guys not necessarily in his draft class, but in his era of guys they always compare to in the AFC, like the Burrows, the Lamars, the Mahomes. We know Mahomes has been there, done that. Burrows made it to one Super Bowl. Lamar's in the same boat, I think, right now as Josh Allen, where They got all the talent in the world, but they haven't won the big one. Like, until one of those two guys do, I'm going to say, yeah, I mean, until you prove me otherwise, it's like the narrative on in the next game we'll get to is like with Darnold, it's like, can they win the big one?
I think that part of it for me, though, is like, look at the weapons that Mahomes has won Super Bowls with. Look at what Josh Allen's had.
Mm-hmm.
Not a
thank
ton.
you.
Oh, completely fair.
Well, and the Bills have removed some of those high-profile receivers from their lineup, right? Stephon Diggs. Now, maybe it was his time to leave Buffalo, and that can definitely be an argument that can be made. But they have not held on to the receivers, and they've had the carousel at running back, which is, I mean, James Cook is more than serviceable in that role, and they've had some good running backs. But I agree. Josh Allen has not had those receivers to back up what he is able to do on the field and what they have complemented in the backfield. Jim?
I think if you look at Patrick Mahomes this year in the Chiefs season, like, he didn't have great receivers. They didn't do well.
Yeah, Jim?
I don't know that you can compare. You can't say he's not. I don't think any of this is on him necessarily right now. I think there's some variables. Like, okay, we fired the coach. We've given credence to say, like, we've outright said it's the coach's fault. Like, I don't care what he said directly. Ownership said it's the coach's fault. He said we had the right players in place. We've consistently got there. We couldn't seal the deal. He put all this vote of confidence in the GM. So at this point, we have a draft, and then we have another season. And if the same result happens, like, this season is he's not a big game QB. I think this is the season where we get that answer, in my opinion. Like, because the ownership just said that. The ownership set up that outcome. I think if you read his statement and you infer things, like, ownership is saying, we're going to find out if Josh Allen's our guy, if he's the big time player.
Yeah, and we'll get a little bit of that too with that exit, and then some of the the press clippings and everything that's come out since. So, definitely going to be next year's going to be a big year for the Bills, for Josh Allen, for Brandon Beane, for ownership, all the way around. So, next game was not a game. Seahawks take down the 49ers 41-6. Seahawks defense dominates, smothered the 49ers offense. 49ers defense. It has been riddled with injuries. Obviously, didn't get Fred Warner back. Not that anybody expected him truly to play, even though it sounded like he would take all of the supplements and shots and anything that could relieve his pain to get on the field. I think to support him being able to play football in the future, they made a great decision.
Yeah, no, you have to heal up the right way once, or else you're going to continue to have problems forever.
Yeah. So, as Nate alluded to already, the next game is going to be the game that, okay, are the Seahawks it? Right? They're finally going to be playing a team that many have pitted as the Super Bowl favorite from the NFC all season, or the majority of the season. Right? Now they get to prove we are the team in this conference, or we are not the team in this conference. Any other thoughts on this game?
No.
All right, moving into the Sunday matchup, starting with the Patriots over the Texans, 28-16. The story of this game is not the Patriots to most, but what the Texans were not able to do specifically on the offensive side of the ball. CJ Stroud, 4 interceptions. Patriots, right, win. Just win, baby. Total yards in this game were 248 to 241 in favor of the Patriots. So those turnovers were the difference from the Texans. Stroud becomes the first player with 5+ interceptions and 5+ fumbles in a postseason in this game. So first, Texans is what it is. Any final thoughts on the Texans season, Jim, as a Texans fan?
I think it's a good season. I think compared to what we thought it was going to be, what it was in the middle, and how it ended, like, good job. I think, and I know you said first, and then I know where you're headed. I have a theory. It's not a, it's just from the eye test, if you will. I understand the calls to bench CJ Stroud. I think the intentions or the intent behind let's bench CJ Stroud are not what they should be. You're want to bench him because his performance sucked, or you don't like him, or you think it would have been a better outcome with somebody else. Maybe it would have been better. I think given the quarterback situation, I think in that moment that was the best option you had in Texas. However, I have a gut feeling that CJ Stroud and that concussion he suffered midseason never really came back the same. He looked in the game prior like he had, for lack of better terms, the yips. He didn't look right. And in this game, it looked more of the same. He looked skittish. And that was not the CJ Stroud I saw last year or the year prior. That was definitely not the CJ Stroud I saw in Columbus. He looked like he was seeing ghosts out there. I think something's wrong. No, I'm not trying to make excuses. I know I'm a Ohio State homer and a Texas fan or Texans fan, but I think something's wrong with him.
He's going to have the offseason. We'll see how he comes out the beginning of next season.
Yeah.
I think for the Texans, for that organization, and really for the NFL, I think having a good CJ Stroud is good for the big picture, right? And everything, the team, the division, the league. So if there is something wrong, heal up, buddy. Let's get at it next year.
Yeah.
All right.
To the medical degenerate, like, I know that I'm not trying to sit here and make you the concussion specialist by any means. Yeah. And I'm semi-aware of the long-term effects of a concussion. What long-lasting effects psychologically and physiologically from a concussion?
Well, you can have post-concussive syndrome in and of itself.
For how long?
A long time. I mean, it's very dependent. I mean, a year at least, I'd say at the minimum, but I know that there's been cases longer than that. And then just a psychological fear of it happening again. I mean, you start to think like, oh, if I get rid of the ball and don't get hit, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think when you're talking about like the yips type deal, I would look at that more as a fear of it happening again.
Yeah. Because that concussion's had him sit for 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, right?
It also gets you off rhythm, like you're in a rhythm with your guys and then you're not, and you jump into the playoffs and.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel for the guy if I'm right. Or maybe he just sucks. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it just didn't feel right.
I don't know that he sucks necessarily, but he definitely looked bad in the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, now let's move on to the Patriots. All right, this is a team that has not been celebrated through much of the season. Me being hand up one of those people throughout the entire season. Right? They have continued to win, find ways to win, find ways to remain relevant, win their division, get into the playoffs, win these 2 games, and now they are in the AFC Championship game.
Like, this got to be a win-win for Jim. Like, whichever team won here, he got to be excited about.
Yes, I did.
So, right, Drake May, Matt Stafford look like the candidates. I mean, the votes have already been cast for the MVP, right? But both have made the case that either of them would be good winners of this award. So I think this weekend's going to say a lot about that whole thing. And we're going to get into these matchups here shortly. So anything about the Patriots, Jim? Now you get to play both sides of this coin.
No, kiss my ass. All year I've had to listen to, and mind you, I know you. I teased that I'm a Patriots fan, and I'm not. But no one will make somebody root against him. Noah's shit on the Patriots all season long about how they've had dog shit schedule, et cetera, et cetera. The Patriots are real. I think Vrabel needs to get his flowers. Like, think about how the Titans did him dirty. I think the Patriots are real, and I think they're going to make a run against the Rams.
Okay. Well, if both teams make it to the Super Bowl, that is. We definitely. Well, we have a game in between here, and we understand that the storyline going into the Patriots AFC Championship game does not help the people that have been hating on them all season. But before we do that, we do have the Rams beating the Bears 20-17 in overtime. Those cardiac Bears can't pull this one out.
Muff jinx.
Late interception, overtime. Caleb Williams, prior to Caleb Williams cardiacking him their way into overtime. Caleb Williams did have 3 interceptions. The Bears' fate after a late touchdown put them in position to force overtime. Kyron Williams, 2 touchdowns for the Rams. Matt Stafford, ho-hum stat line. The Rams do get the win, though. Nate, I'm going to start with you. Is that a push off in the end zone on Cole Kmet?
No. Not enough separation was created.
He
right,
now
enough.
sides with every ref.
He is the institution now, Jim.
No, like if I'm going to call OPI in that situation, Jim, I want to see full extension, like you're trying to rebound a ball and you're like physically getting the guy off of you to go get the ball. I mean, the guy kind of just stopped there.
You're part of the machine.
Had its
now.
arm out. You can call it what you want, but I mean, again, I didn't see enough there that he was like doing a push up almost, like he really like pushed himself off the guy to create that separation. I didn't see that.
Yeah, of course you didn't.
I thought the defender honestly kind of quit on the play.
You're a cog in the wheel now.
Oh dear, here we go.
To the Cardiac Bears, and Jim calling me a jinx, I want to point out that the Cardiac Bears scored that touchdown to take it to overtime and then lost. So, if anything, I helped get them to overtime, Jim.
Jinx is a jinx, Muff.
I never said the Cardiac Bears were going to win. I just said they were the Cardiac Bears.
Like I said, I think there was a different Chris that jinxed that.
All right.
What are you talking about, Alex?
Collinsworth saying, you can either be a hero or a zero here. You can be a hero and score a
What
touchdown.
are you talking about, Alex?
Why are you
I just
yelling?
did the Collinsworth slide into the screen.
Oh, okay. I'm used to you yelling at me, now. Now you yelling at me is like a once a week affair, so I don't know if I'm in trouble or not.
The Rams take it down. Bears still a solid season. Definitely outperformed the expectations. Year 1, Ben Johnson. I think there's a lot to be hopeful for in Chicago in the coming years.
Agreed.
Do we think the Bears are missing some pieces?
Maybe. I mean, I would say a young receiver, which they have in Luther Burden, but he was hurt most of the year. So I think that piece is there. It's just, can that piece stay healthy? Because they have Colson Loveland, tight end, Caleb Williams. Everybody's is just whatever at running back right now. You just find who's ever going to fit in your system for that year, and you make it work. DJ Moore obviously is aging, so they've got to, I think, start to build around Caleb Williams in the receiving core right now. I think that's priority 1.
Agreed.
Roman Dunze's there, so that's also good. But I think they need to continue and maybe hit lightning with what the Bengals did, right, when they have T. Higgins and Jamar Chase sitting there. I'm not going to say they're going to hit that type of situation, but they need to. If they have that, then the Bears are going to be, a top 4 Super Bowl favorite.
I think if they get one more good threat with Rome Odunze and keep Luther Burden healthy, they'll have a pretty good receiving core.
Yeah. All right, moving into Conference Championship weekend, Sunday games. We have the Mike and Sean Bowls. We have Mike versus Sean in each the AFC and NFC Championship game. First to the Patriots at the Broncos. Nemi wants to make sure, Jim, this is to your point, that everybody knows that the Patriots have a 2-1 record versus this year's playoff teams.
There you go.
My guy Nemi.
Yep. Even not here tonight, he is emotionally supporting you. And obviously, we know Jarrett Stidham's going to be starting for the Broncos. I'm going to ask for a final score prediction in this game. Let's start with Alex.
35-7.
Okay. I'm assuming Patriots.
Yes, yeah.
All right. Jim?
34-14.
Okay. I'll go with 31-10. Nate?
21-17.
Ooh.
Is it still the Patriots, Nate?
Yeah, I don't think Stidham on a short notice is going to be able to be that productive, but I think this is going to be a defensive battle.
Okay, and then we have the Rams taking on the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. Our final score predictions here. I'll start this one off. I'm going to go with the Rams 20-17. Jim?
28-3.
Did you say 28-3?
Yep.
In favor of?
The Rams.
Okay, Nate?
Give me the Rams 24-20.
Ooh, another close one. Alex?
Give me, I think the Seahawks 28-27.
Everybody's looking for a close one here. All right, continuing on the NFL, let's get into the NFL coaching carousel with the current vacancies and those that have been filled. As we alluded to already, the AFC North still looking for all of their head coaches, as the Steelers, Ravens, and Browns are in a situation, and the Browns are in a odd situation, and one that potentially not in the spirit of the Rooney Rule, but it is what it is at this point. The only candidate that was going to make it to the second round, Mike McDaniel, withdraws himself, is now the Chargers offensive coordinator, which now leads the Browns to have to find another minority candidate to bring in for interviews. The Browns are going to Brown in this situation. I would say, in my estimation, is not in the spirit of the rule. I'm not going to say unfair to the Browns, but definitely puts them in a bit of an interesting and unique situation.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't really want to be the minority candidate now. Like, now do you have that feeling like you're only interviewing me? Like, I'm not going to get the job. Why am I going to put in all this work to be interviewed? Like, you obviously don't want me, or else you would have picked me the first time around.
Yeah. Other thoughts on the Browns situation?
No.
No. I feel bad for whoever ends up there.
All right. Yeah. Well, anyway, no matter who it is.
Yeah.
Bills. We talked about this already. The drama.
We got the Steelers.
There's been a whole bunch of interviews. There's nothing really to report,
You guys
Jim.
got somebody you like? You got somebody that you want? Like, how you just going to glaze over it, you turds?
Because what are we going to talk about? Everybody that's interviewed, Brian Flores was probably my number one pick, and he's back to the Vikings.
Well,
So
except
after
there if
that,
he didn't get a head coaching job.
he wasn't offered.
Oh, I thought it was like saying like he'll be back if. Like I thought.
Yeah, the way it was worded was if he doesn't get a head coaching job, he's going to go to the Vikings because he signed an extension.
Yeah, that's
right. That's what I'm saying. If he signed
why
the
would you
extension,
sign an extension then jump?
That's what.
Right.
But it felt like and that's why I didn't really understand that 100%.
Yeah, Jim.
Mike
If
McCarthy.
Who?
I don't like
Mike
Mike
McCarthy.
I'm not.
Another Yinzer. I mean, I would not be upset with Mike McCarthy if that is not in the.
Yeah,
that is not in the vein of the Steelers' head coaching searches of past. Steelers head coaches have never been the high-profile candidates, right? Now, granted, we only have two, right?
Big Ben
two
wants
head
him.
coaches. Well, Big Ben does not speak for the franchise.
Well, he seems to.
I am not really jazzed about the idea of Mike McCarthy.
How do you feel about Big Ben, Alex?
I love Big Ben.
You think he should be the voice?
The voice? No. Do I think he's done enough for the organization that maybe he gets a seat at the table? I can see that. But not the sole voice.
Okay.
There you go. All right, with the Bills, they obviously get rid of McDermott. They keep Brandon Beane and elevate his position for the guy that ultimately was responsible for those draft classes, or so we thought, until he and the owner got on the mic and said that players, specifically Keon Coleman, who is still on the roster, were coaches' decisions to be drafted. So McDermott looks like the scapegoat in this situation, and Brandon Beane says, "Hey, buddy, thanks for bringing me here with you. Appreciate you putting in a good word. We're going to push you out now."
Yeah.
Do we think McDermott is one of the year off, or is he going to get hired?
That is a good question, Nate, and I don't have a good feel for that. His name hasn't been come up yet, so if he's going to be
still warm.
I agree, but Mike McDaniel's corpse was still warm, and there was plenty of people reaching out to him.
And I think he's a way worse coach than McDermott. I would take McDermott in Pittsburgh.
I think anybody would take him. Anybody.
Aside from the Bills.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that goes. McDermott, 98-50 regular season record, 8-8 record in the playoffs. So definitely has the regular season clout. And I mean, having an 8-8 record means that you're getting there, then that you're getting some wins, right? You're at least winning playoff games. So not the best record, but there are a lot of people that don't have the ability and opportunity to play 16 playoff games in their coaching career. Next, move on to the Giants, who hired John Harbaugh.
I think this is out of pocket. I mean, I get Harbaugh and New York, and it adds up for the personality, but I don't think this is smart for him. But again, the Harbaugh name, that adds up.
You don't think it's smart for Harbaugh?
No.
I think you're so wrong. I think he's going to New York with Jackson Dart, Scatabo, Malik Neighbors. I think they all get healthy, and I think he does something up there.
But longevity-wise, they're
young.
But they're one news article, one blown out knee, one away from that fan base trying to fillet him.
And they were that in Baltimore as well. So, I don't think there's going to be much of a change there.
Baltimore wasn't that vicious as New York.
They got rid of him pretty quickly.
They got rid of Harbaugh. He was there for years, Alex.
I mean, quickly after this season. After losing, I don't know.
I think
he was under more pressure there than
he could have gone. I know this is ridiculous. He could have gone to the Titans or the Raiders.
My first take was that he would go to the Raiders, so I don't disagree with you on that.
And been there for a hot minute, probably another 5-10 years. The Giants are one bad situation away from going, oh, we screwed up.
Well, the Giants are a bad situation. They're not one bad situation from anything. They are a bad situation. Now, there is a little bit more hope based on what Alex said, but there's been hope in New York. There's been hope in Cleveland for years and has not transpired. So I do think that for the Giants, this is a good get. And the debate can definitely be had that was this a good move for Harbaugh? There will probably be people on both sides of that, all said and done. There's the Falcons hiring Kevin Stefanski. Nate, your Bucks are involved in some drama here, specifically old Baker Mayfield. What's your take on Baker Mayfield coming after a little bit of Stefanski in this one? It was a third-party report on how Mayfield was ushered out of Cleveland way back then.
Now, if you can back it up, I'm fine with it. But if you end up losing the Falcons twice again this year, then shut the fuck up. But I didn't want to see Stefanski in Atlanta, though. He's been coach of the year a couple of times. Seems to be well respected. Falcons have a young, talented roster, so I can see Atlanta being on the come up here in the next couple of years.
They're another team that has some young pieces in place. Obviously, for Atlanta, the big question is quarterback, right? In the short and medium term, what are they going to do with Penix? They got Cousins on that contract. Something's got to give at some point. You either got to go all in on your young guy, or you just have to cut bait and ride out Cousins' contract and bring in somebody new. So we'll see. That's going to be an interesting situation play out in Atlanta. 100%. The Titans hire Robert Saleh. He gets another chance as a head coach. Do we think this opportunity is going to go better for him?
No.
I really don't think so either. I think he's a good specialist. coordinator, whatever, but I don't think he's a good head coach.
I don't think he's in the right organization.
What would be a good fit for him, Jim, in your opinion?
None of the Bills, maybe. Like, I think the Bills are a good organization, but I think the rest of these aren't. Maybe the Steelers. The Steelers, he would have been okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been upset with that. I did not realize that he was. I mean, I assumed his name was going to come up at some point. I did not know it was going to come up this quickly in this hiring cycle. Raiders still looking for a head coach. I have not seen any discussion on who they've been bringing in for interviews. So zero clue what's happening out there in Vegas.
I agree. I was thinking that the other day. I've seen zero, nothing.
Nate, you see anything?
I have not.
Okay, we're all on the same page. The Dolphins hired Jeff Hafley.
Okay.
This is probably the hiring move this cycle that, like I say, doesn't make sense, but definitely did not capture the headlines, especially for a Miami situation. Now I understand Miami's got a little bit more going on down there as they were hosting the College Football Playoff National Championship, but definitely not a move that made a lot of headlines, at least nationally, that came across my feed.
No, I saw it happened, and that was about it.
Yep. And then obviously we talked about Mike McDaniel moving on to offensive coordinator of the Chargers and the Cardinals. Similar situation as the Raiders. I haven't seen much coming out of that camp either.
Nope.
Agreed. All right.
Now,
So let's get into.
I saw, I think, a little bit before he came here was the Chiefs are bringing back Eric Bieniemy
As an OC.
Yes.
Or whatever the position underneath Reed is on the offensive side of the ball. Yes.
Well.
All right, we're going to wrap up before we get another interesting news in sports with a little bit more college football talk, a specific situation that could have major ramifications in the college football world, the transfer portal world, and NIL, as Duke, of all schools, has fought back against the transfer portal craziness, winning a temporary ruling that states Darian Mensah can enter the transfer portal, but nay, he cannot play for another team, given his NIL contract stipulations. If he were to transfer, Mensah can also not generate any NIL revenue during that time with another program while he sits out. In a statement released today by Duke, they said, Mr. Mensah has an existing contract with Duke, which the university intends to honor, and we expect he will do the same. The court-ordered temporary restraining order issued yesterday ensures he does not violate the contract. The university is committed to supporting all of our student-athletes while expecting each of them to abide by their contractual obligations. So, Jim, what does not make sense or what doesn't add up on your end?
So he can enter the portal, but can't play. So why enter the portal? Like, just say, no, you can't enter the portal.
So I think everything that played out here was a masterclass in Duke lawyering is what ultimately came out here. A lot of the commentary, a lot of the information, a lot of their argument did not go into the specifics about why Mensah was going to be entering the portal. A lot of it just brought up a timeline and brought up the contract that existed with them and then let the chips fall where they may with the judge in charge in overseeing this particular case and this particular argument itself. So Duke avoided any discussion of tampering allegations, specifically as it related to Miami. That was the team that many speculated he would be heading to. Even referencing and bringing into play Barstool Sports personality Liam Blutman, who had put out a tweet or a post in the Twitter sphere that Mensah was about to make the move. There were discussions that Miami was putting together an NIL deal, presumably with Adidas, to buy out the existing NIL contract of about $5 million with Duke and then supplement it with $5 million more dollars so he would have a similar deal going from Duke to Miami. So Duke outlined the timeline, the discussion, the contract, and said, you all tell us why this is okay. And the court order came back, you're right, this is not okay. He should not be able to just transfer, benefit, in a similar way and have somebody pay out a contract that he is voiding.
I love this. I think this is the way that possibly could garner control over this whole thing. You want money, that's fine. You come in and you sign a contract and you honor your contract. I think this is a way that you can start putting some like governors and some boundaries on these contracts.
Yes. I agree probably 100%, with a caveat that these kids need representation.
Okay, so that should come out of your NIL money. That's okay. You pay a lawyer out of whatever you're going to make in NIL, or they get a portion.
That's fine. However they get it.
You know what I mean? They're going to have agents basically.
I'm gonna break the fourth wall here. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Fuck it. I believe institutions should have in place NIL divisions for this. Whether it be financial institutions or higher ed institutions that look out for these athletes.
I think it should be that the athletes have to seek out this representation. I don't
disagree with you. I don't disagree, but I believe that colleges and banks, or colleges and financial planners, should exist for them to seek out.
I think, well, that's fine, but I wouldn't even say colleges. I think it should be a separate entity. A financial planner comes in, sits down with the representatives of the university and deals with it.
I believe they need to be regulated. Banks are regulated through the federal government. Colleges are regulated by the states and federal. I think there needs to be some oversight that's not independent. A certified financial planner has some regulation, but you can also have independent financial advisors. I don't want that.
Is this a financial planning situation, or is this a contract situation? Because
you can have some of both. You can have, you can dance.
Yeah, because it's cart before the horse. If you say financial planner, then it's like, okay, we're going to tell you how you should be spending your money, investing your money, but not going back to this is the agreement that you signed to give you that money.
So basically, you would almost need a lawyer in.
I would argue more on the front end, and the money's going to be the money, right? But you need to have a contract that is a good representation of both sides and a good faith argument. And for a 18, 19, 20-year-old young man to figure that out, or young woman, right, in all sports, right, as this continues to, right, we saw $1 million deal with Texas Tech's softball pitcher, right? Where did that come from? And we also have to keep in mind here that NIL, as it sits right now, is not in the hands of the institutions. It is in the hands of these third-party situations.
That's not true.
Go on.
Talk about this.
Tell me.
Schools are allowed to provide funds for NIL up to a certain dollar amount.
$20,000, Jim.
Well, that's still money, Muff. So
that's not the millions that are at stake here.
But if they are allowed to provide funds for NIL, they can then create a governing body to help these students navigate those waters.
And should that governing body also help with students that are going to the college for academic reasons and signing contracts about student loans and taking?
Is that not? Why not? Why the fuck not, Alex? You don't give me. I'm sorry. Let me back it up. Yes is the answer.
I was like, that was aggressive. I was just making a point that if you're going to protect those students and their financial, commitments, and it should be across the board.
I know students who have $40,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt and have no idea they have it, and then come to me and say, "I have this debt. What do I do?" Yes, I believe that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We need to take care of our individuals as they make financial decisions before we get them bear trapped.
Right. And my big point with all of this is who's going to make that decision? Because the NCAA is throwing their hands up and has for years. The institutions don't want to put themselves in this murky area where they get got and have their athletic programs negatively impacted and their NIL donors and the third parties. So who's going to regulate it when nobody wants to regulate?
I'm thinking it's going to end up having to be a outside, hey, my business is this, I do this, I get a portion of your NIL contract as payment, and that's how it works.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where the Super Conference come in, and the College Football Playoff Committee controls the world.
No. See, now we're going down another rabbit hole. A Super Conference puts it right back to where we started.
No, Super Conference allows them to create their own rules outside of the NCAA's purview, and they can do everything that you just said and fund the conferences and those NIL deals through the institutions as opposed to these separate entities.
No, that's not what will happen, and you know this.
I just said that's what should happen.
But that's not what will happen. The Super Conference will become the NCAA 2.0.
I'm not going to say that because the College Football Playoff has already shown that they're willing to revenue share all of the money that comes from that College Football Playoff where the NCAA was not able to. Now, you could make the argument that 20, 30 years down the road, we're in the same spot, but at least in the short term, I think that you see a better structure in place to support everything that we have issues with right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, what Muff said.
Yeah. I need to think on that. I don't disagree right now.
Think on that and come back later.
Yeah.
All right. But I think no matter what, right, no matter what, this situation with Mensa is setting some level of precedent in what could happen. And if other college football teams that are worried about the transfer portal being an issue, they should be contacting Duke and saying, what did you do in that contract to allow this to be a discussion and a ruling that was supported well enough to be come down this way, even if it's only temporary. It's still creating a barrier to the transfer situation for Mensa.
Guys, we talked to Nate got kicked off.
Is he gone? He's gone?
Gone.
He's gone. We hit his hour limit.
We talked too much.
All right. That'll bring us to other interesting news in sports.
Interesting news in sports.
In the basketball world, college and professional, the college world feel a little bit of the impact that the NBA did with some of this gambling problems, as former Buffalo men's basketball players Sean Folker and Isaiah Adams indicted for allegedly fixing games as part of an investigation into multiple D1 programs. Multiple. We'll say mid-conference D1 basketball programs. The indictment alleges at least $425,000 was bet on Kent State first half minus 8.5 of a game last season. Kent State went on a 12-0 run to end in the final 6-ish minutes of that first half against Buffalo to cover that spread. As a result, these two Buffalo players are in a bad spot. How much more do we think is going to come of this in Division I basketball?
You lost me when you said in basketball.
Betting, Jim. You're supposed to come back with betting and
I don't understand
all of
how
that.
this is just a basketball problem. Like, that's what blows my mind every time one of these leagues.
Basketball is the easiest one to fix.
It's easy to fix? Is that what you're saying?
The easiest one out of I think it's harder.
That one bit.
I mean, boxing's the easiest to fix, but basketball does have so much individual elements to it that it is one of the easiest if you're going to fix it.
Like, I could fake making a, I'm shooting with good faith. I can shoot and miss barely, and it's like an individual on me to miss. Or I can foul somebody intentionally, but make it look like I was just trying to play good defense. You can do a little bit more wiggling.
And this is not the first time this has happened, Jim. So we obviously know with officials, with players.
There's a field goal kicker in Ohio, Columbus, that I would say has been rigging shit for 2 years.
Yeah, but have they ever not covered a spread based on him making or missing a field goal?
No, that's fair.
I mean, he just misses him. I don't think it impacts the spread situation of the game, does it?
He just ain't real good.
And I mean, I would say that he's on the long con there, Jim. If he's kept this up for this long, he's committed to the bit. It's no longer a bit for him. He's just missing.
Well, that's fair.
And if he did do it, good. I mean, he made a whole bunch of money by missing field goals for 4 seasons, and they kept trotting him out there. I would say good on him at that point. Bad on Ohio State and their coaching staff
for not catching on.
You're right. In other NBA news, Bronny James was 46th in fan voting for the All-Star game and received 2 player votes to start in the All-Star game.
The one was his dad.
Bronny...
Got it.
Question I have is, who's the other? Was it him? Did he vote for himself? Was this
that? Honestly, I bet him and his dad.
I don't know who all gets the votes. It may just be like veteran vested players at that point, but I gotta imagine
when his dad threatened.
Who's his oldest friend in the league? Who would he?
Right,
he got Luka to do it. He's like, Luka, come on, man, you're new here. Just put that vote up.
He like distracted him and like wrote his name. Did it for him.
Yeah. All right, and the last bit, in other interesting news in sports, Jim, you can perk up now. Collegiate wrestling.
Yeah, buddy.
Number 22, WVU pulls off another win in a backyard brawl situation as they upset number 15, Pitt.
You excited, Jim?
I'd like to see WVU win. I like when their wrestling wins. I don't know how great Pitt was. They're ranked 15. Cool.
So, if you trust the rankings,
I want to see them keep climbing.
There we go.
Trust the climb.
There you go. Trust the climb. In other wrestling news, Virginia Tech wrestled a duel in a theater.
I think that's fantastic.
The match was quite literally on the stage.
Love it.
And did you see this? Not the match itself. Did you see the setup?
I saw the setup.
Yeah, I saw this and I was like, wait, what's happening in this space? What is this?
I did not see this, but that's kind of funny, actually. Could you imagine having I'm just picturing our theater and like wrestling just being like, hey, can we use this?
It's exactly what it was, Alex, except, I mean, a little bit more grandiose theater situation.
I don't know
they have
why West Liberty doesn't do this in where Serenades is.
Not a college hall. I don't know if that space is big enough, Jim.
Why not?
Oh dear, that was aggressive.
You're getting angry. I mean,
like,
I want to say the actual theater has more space.
The stage.
The theater. Yeah,
No,
I don't know if
College
this.
Hall.
No,
The theater is big. The theater has a bigger stage than College Hall, Jim.
College Hall makes the atmosphere.
I won't disagree with that. Alex can be on the lighting. Yeah, there you go.
It would be fantastic.
Okay.
The theater would be cool too, but like College Hall gives that like West Lib vibe.
All right. And in other news, in collegiate wrestling, Penn State becomes the first team ever to have 6 number 1 wrestlers, individually ranked number 1 wrestlers, after last weekend's matchup that included a 32-3 domination of number 4 Iowa.
Damn.
None of this really matters. It's cool. I shouldn't say that. I take that phrasing back. This is an expected outcome. They kicked Iowa's ass. Fantastic. Not taking anything away from Penn State. I will give Penn State the 2026 flowers in about 3 weeks, when they beat Ohio State. I didn't say if. I said when. If Ohio State pulls off the upset, though, just get ready for, just tooting Jimbo's horn, man.
Here's the thing, and with wrestling, right, it is what it is in that way that you can't debate. You won't be able to debate if there's an upset win, right, at that particular moment. But as you know, Jim, the wrestling season does not revolve around these dual meets. To those that really want to see you'll have your day, 100%.
I will have my day.
Yes, you will have your day.
That's why I also said when.
Right. Right? Is that February 8th?
I think I can't.
Yeah.
I know the Michigan match against Ohio State's near my birthday, and the Penn State match is near my birthday, and I can't figure. Always get confused.
Yeah. All right. So that wraps up the regular show. Let's get into a quick sports betting breakdown.
Oh yeah.
Sports betting stuff. On the Sports Betting Podcast coming out of the Sports Stuff with Jim Muff Enterprise. Everyone's got their totems, their tokens, their items of good luck with them.
Yes.
Sorry. Alex, what do we got? What are we sporting today?
The green flag of victory. At this point, just finish out the season.
All right. Jim?
Losing Alex?
Temporarily.
Are you sure? Sure it's not contagious?
He's back.
I got my gold coins.
Sorry, I'm trying to switch my notes over. Maybe my computer's not happy about that.
My 3 gold coins, my magic genie lamp, and my Ohio State hat with the Ohio State flag on the brim.
All right, I got my Sugarlands hat signed by the Moonshiners telling me to shine on. As a reminder, anybody new listening, our exclusive betting app is FanDuel.
FanDuel?
FanDuel? It's FanDuel.
It is 100% FanDuel.
That exclusive sponsorship.
Well, as the football season draws to a close, I think our window is shut for this season.
We still have our March Madness betting. Maybe they'll pick us up for that.
Sure. We'll hope. We'll hope and pray. All right. Let's get into last week's best bets. Starting with last week's winner, who would officially be Jim.
The winnings just keep winning. I went 2-1. I won the Bears plus 3.5 against the Rams. And I won the Miami versus Indiana over 47.5. I lost the Texans at Patriots under 41.5. Brings my total record to 64, 51, and 2. My winning percentage 547.
Indeed, Jim 547. Jim, you're like the Patriots this year. You just keep winning, even though we doubt you.
I know. I'm proud of myself.
All right, I went 3-2 last week, bringing my overall record to 72 and 76 for a 486 winning percentage. My wins were 49ers Seahawks over 44.5, Bears plus the points 3.5 against the Rams, and Miami Hurricanes plus 8.5 taking on Indiana. Offset by my losses, Bills Broncos not going under 46.5, and the Texans Patriots not going under 41.5. Next, we had Alex.
I was 3-3 this week. My wins were the Seahawks -7, 49ers, the Bears plus 3.5 versus the Rams, and the Miami Indiana over 47.5. My losses were the Bills Broncos under 46.5, the Texans Patriots under 41.5, and Indiana -8.5 versus Miami.
All right, Jim, are you going to do it for your emotional sport human?
Old Nummy. He went 2-3. He's 59 and 59. He is 500. He won the over in the Seahawks game, 44.5, and he won the Miami plus 8.5 against Indiana, and then he lost all the other ones. The Bills -1.5 against the Broncos, the under in the Broncos game, and the under in the Patriots game.
Indeed. Next into our specialty picks, first starting with the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week.
Pow, pow.
It did not pow this week. We lost. We had the Texans Patriots under 41.5, bringing the hit stick pick to 12-9. Still at a winning record there. So let's come in strong. We got one game left.
2 games.
One pick left. Yeah, one pick left in the hit stick. Next in the swift kick to the killer trap, Dick Riss. Your pick of the week.
Shake it off.
We had the Bears, the Cardiac Bears on the money line. That was an L. Jim will blame me. I'll blame Caleb Williams and or DJ Moore. Bring the risky pick to 10-11 for the season. Still should be profitable there, even though we don't keep track of those units. In the Buddy Lay parlay,
Yippee!
We only had 2 wins, offset by 3 losses. We didn't get out of Saturday in this one. Texans Patriots under was in there as a hit stick was a loss. Bills to cover 1.5 against the Broncos was a loss. I believe Alex tossed the Seahawks in there. Is that correct, Alex?
I think so, yeah.
Alex had that as a win. I believe Jim tossed the Bears, or was that Nemi?
I think I had the Bears.
So Alex and Jim, and then I had the Bills Broncos under, which lost. So 1-20 on the Buddy Light parlay. We are about at the point where it's about even for the season as far as units up and down.
We got our one.
And Jim Superdog
Super duper.
had Miami on the money line. Limited options. Superdog goes 2-19 for the season. All right, we got 2 games to work with this week, boys, both in the NFL and Conference Championship weekend. First, we have the Patriots, favored by 5.5 at the Broncos, over under 42.5. I think everybody's looking at the Patriots here, huh?
We all are on the Patriots. I think all of our predicted scores were covering.
So I will say that Nemi sent me his picks, and he had Patriots -5. What is the current line?
Let's see. FanDuel is loading. FanDuel says that the current line is Patriots -4.5. Actually,
Boys, looks
Wait
like
a
we
point.
get that line.
yeah.
So it has gone down since it posted. Since Jarrett Stidham has been named the starting quarterback, that line has improved for the Broncos.
Interesting.
This is incredibly
I-
interesting.
I'm not sure about that, but is there something in the Patriots world that we aren't sure about?
Is Drake May hurt, Jim, and we don't know about it?
I don't know.
Unfortunately, I already placed my bet of the Patriots at 5.5, so I'm just gonna ride it out.
Okay. You still give yourself that for the best bet, Alex.
I did.
All right. Yeah, I think we're all going to be looking at the Patriots. I'm going to go a line, a spread and an over-under here. I'm going to go with the under as well in this one. So I'm going to go Patriots and the under.
If I was gonna go that way, I'd go with you.
Jim, any other thoughts in this game?
I mean, I'm taking the Patriots.
Okay, I figured as much. All right, in the other game, the NFC Championship, we've got the Rams at the Seahawks. Seahawks are by 2.5, over under 47.5.
I'm taking the Seahawks here.
Jim, any thoughts on this one?
Taking the Seahawks.
I'm going the other way. Give me the Rams plus the points. Plus 2.5. Matthew Stafford, the eventual MVP, demonstrates why he is that man. Give me the Rams Patriots in the Super Duper Bowl.
Oopa-doopa.
I'm also going to go an over in that game. I think the Rams find a way to make some things happen, even though I think the score I touted earlier was under. I don't care. Give me the over. All right.
Yeah, I'm with you. If I was gonna, I am not doing the over-unders, but I agree with both of your takes on the way you'd win.
All right. So there we go. Let's get into the best bets. Starting with Jim.
Patriots -4.5. Seahawks -2.5.
All right. I'm going to go Patriots -4.5. I'm going to go Patriots Broncos under 42.5. Rams plus 2.5. And Rams Seahawks over 47.5. Alex?
Well, I guess I'll tail the winner this week. And I'm also going to go with the Patriots -4.5 and the Seahawks -2.5.
So am I officially the winner?
I'm going to say yes. I think it's impossible for anybody to catch him. Alex.
Make him wait, though, before we say it.
Oh, we'll wait. We're going to wait till the end of next week before we officially announce it. But I do not think you are catchable, Jim. I think we would have to get into some craziness to even, which we've never done, to allow any even possibility. The good news is your winnings are going to be minus $10 for me, so you can take that and shove it.
Why?
Because you never paid me for the Survivor pool.
Fair.
He says, out.
All right, Nemi did give me some picks here. Nemi is going with the Broncos plus 4.5. I guess we have to give him that, don't we? Instead of 5.
Yes. Yeah.
And the Rams plus 2.5. He did say, and this is not part of the best bet, he's going to money line parlay the dogs here. So he's going to take both the puppies on the money line and parlay them together, which will probably be about a plus 400 or 500 bet, I would imagine.
There you go. Gives you something to root for.
He's rooting for the pups in this one. All right, next in the special picks, first starting with the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week. Patriots. Nemi's on the other side, but Nemi's on the other side of everything here.
Yeah, if he's taking all dogs and
Like, is that gonna kill his record?
What?
Like, is he gonna if he loses all these bets? Is that's gonna let the door open up, right?
For me to be second, but not for
That's
anybody
what I mean.
to get first. Yeah,
I don't think he's playing this very smart.
that is
There's no points for second in this, Jim.
It's still pride here.
Okay, well, his pride, he don't care about that pride. If he ain't first or last, that's what he's getting into here. So we good with the Patriots?
yes.
All right. And Swift kick, heel trap, Dick, risky pick of the week.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Shake it off. Yeah.
I mean, the only option here is the Rams, right?
Is the what?
The Rams is the only option we can actually choose here.
That's yeah. I mean, if I had to pick one, if I was going with an upset on one of the games, I would pick the Rams.
Well, we just took the Patriots to cover 4.5. I don't think we can, in good faith, go with
well, yeah, that's true. I
the
didn't even
Broncos with the money line dog.
I didn't even think about that. I just meant genuinely, without thinking about that, though. If I had to pick one of the dogs, it would be Rams.
Didn't even think Buddy Lay.
I think that's dead.
We don't have enough options.
No, I think the Buddy Lay's done.
Buddy Lay has disappeared.
We'll do the Nemi Lay, and he has his dog.
Yeah, it'll be the Nemi Lay parlay situation. The Nemi Lay parlay. Is that what we're gonna call that?
I think it works. Yes.
I'll go with that. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of this week's episode of Not Only Sports.
I got a risky pick.
Oh.
Is this going to be an alternate line?
Nope. The risky pick is
The Super Dog?
Yeah, the Super Dog. Right now, it's we're changing the name. Not necessarily a dog, but this is Jim needs a pick. It is Travion Henderson. Wait, what are you doing, Jim?
Good question. We don't know.
Travion Henderson.
Yes, he's a player in the NFL. Got it.
Well, I can't type and do this, so somebody who can type or somebody can listen. Gets 1 reception. Travion Henderson plus 25 yards total rushing.
25 plus yards. Got it.
Stevenson. I can't say his name.
Vermont.
Thank you. 40 plus yards rushing. And Drake May, 15 yards rushing.
Who is the third leg in that, Alex?
Ramondre Stevenson.
Ramondre. Okay. What was his leg?
25 rush yards. Is that what you said, Jim?
40.
40.
What are your odds on that big guy?
Plus 206.
That's not even. I guess that's super dog territory. Anything more than about 200 has been your normal spot, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, and that wraps up this week's episode of Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff, plus sports stuff, betting stuff. As a reminder, you can follow us in any of the socials at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter, Sports Stuff with Jim Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell on.
Ding ding.
Get that bell on. And because this will be the last big betting week before the Super Bowl, we hope.
What is the Super Bowl plan? Like, we got to tell the listeners, like, what is the Super Bowl betting plan?
We will all be given, what was it, 100 fake dollars.
Fake $1
to put down. I think last year it was at least you had to put down at least 5 bets with your $100, and then whoever had the most units up was the winner of that challenge.
Yes.
That sound right?
Yep.
Sounds right.
So 100 fake dollars to put on at least 5 bets. You can put as many bets as you want. You have to have at least 5, and then we will measure the units up or down.
And there is, wait a minute. Yeah. There is. Shit, my brain just froze.
Littering and
Right. Smoking the reefer. There's prop bets we can pick, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Any bet that we find on FanDuel.
FanDuel. It has to be on FanDuel.
Right.
FanDuel does not give us Gatorade.
Betting app.
Correct.
FanDuel does not give us the Gatorade, which is bullshit.
As of yet. I don't know if they will later.
They better. Somebody, FanDuel, if you're listening,
give us the Gatorade.
We need the Gatorade color, damn it.
Give us our haterade.
Go ahead, Muff. Sorry.
Hopefully all your bets win this weekend. Whether that's moneyline dog, whether that's an over-under, whether that's parlaying all the touchdowns in every game together, putting together the masterful parlay that will bleed into Super Bowl prep week, that will persist you through college basketball in the days leading up to Super Bowl Sunday. But in order to get to that point, the bets have to cash this Sunday, and